Hello everyone and welcome back for another DIY challenge video. Today I'm super excited to be participating in the Heidi Sonboul DIY Easter challenge. And I want to tell you a little bit about Heidi. Heidi has 4 channels. She has Heidi Sonboul DIY, Heidi Sonboul Home, Heidi Sonboul Paper. She makes paper crafts, and Heidi Sonboul Health. I have left all 4 of her channel links in the description box below, as well as the playlist link for this challenge. I ask at the end of my video, if you like my content, you hit the like, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell. It's going to keep you informed any and every time that I upload a video. And with that being said, we're going to get right into this video. DIY number 1. Okay, what we have here is a wooden egg cutout that I purchased from the Dollar General, and some wrapping paper that I purchased from a garage sale. I thought it was so beautiful, and it was only like 10 cents, so I couldn't pass it up. So what I'm doing here is I'm just laying the wooden egg cutout onto the scrapbook paper, tracing it out, and I'm going in with my scissors and I'm going to cut it out. Then I will be going in with my trusty glue stick, and I'll be adding a generous amount to the wooden piece, making sure that I get around the corners really well. And I will be doing the same to the paper, going around the edges, and then just laying it on top of it and pressing it down. Now, the glue stick has become my best friend. I don't mind a Mod Podge, but I end up getting quite a lot of bubbles. I haven't, I'm not an expert with the Mod Podge yet. I have to work on that. But I think this turns out really, really cute. And then I'll be going in off camera here, and I trim out the edges. Now what I'm going to be doing is going in with a piece of jute twine and just wrapping it around 3 or 4 times and tying a simple knot in the front. Okay, now I'm going in with my Waverly Antique Wax and a chippy brush, and I will be going around the edges and just giving it a light distressing. Okay, to finish off this project, I'm going in and I will be using my hot glue, and I will be adding just 3 of these little paper flowers. And I think they're just the perfect touch to finish. Glue to the back and reattaching it to the wooden piece. Okay, now what I'm going to be doing now is I had these eggs from a different project, and I will be going in with a little hot glue, and I will be placing 3 eggs on each side of the rabbit. It's really amazing what you can come up with when you look in your stash. You know, sometimes you find things that you didn't even know you had. And then you start looking at it and you're like, oh yeah, this will fit perfect in this project. Now what I'm doing is I'm just going to go in and I'm going to be adding moss on top of the eggs on both sides as well as under the eggs. I'm sorry, this part's just a little bit out of frame. And then I'll be going across with some hot glue, and I will be putting the moss across the bottom of the rabbit as well. You know, even though it was like 35 degrees outside when I created this project, this little Easter bunny, I mean, it just made me feel like, oh, it's going to be spring again soon. I cannot wait. And then, you know, because I'm extra, I had to go in and I had to add these little berries. I had one on each side of the rabbit. And that just like was the perfect touch. And this DIY is complete. DIY number 3. Okay, what we have here is a candlestick, and I'm going in with some cobalt gray acrylic paint, and I'm going to be giving it actually ends up taking 2 coats of paint to cover. Now these candlesticks, people are probably thinking, why would you paint these? Well, I got them at a yard sale, and there's a little crack in one side, and honestly, they're just not my cup of tea. I don't use crystal. Well, it's not real crystal, but then on the other one, I was going to be painting it, or I did start painting it with this French vintage color that I have, but eventually I went in and I painted it with the cobalt gray as well so that they would match. And I actually lost some of my footage. And what I do is I go in and I have these larger eggs, Easter eggs, that I purchased on clearance at Hobby Lobby. And I just go in and I hot glue one in the top of each one. And there you can see one of the eggs. And I thought, what? I needed something extra on here. And I'm just going in with these little stick-on little gems that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going around and I'll be placing them around the top and around the bottom as well. And I will repeat the process on the second candlestick. I actually seen this idea from Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. Thank you, Sammy, for the idea. I had a little bit of problem at first getting them to stick, but then, they finally started working. So here, I'm going to go in with the cobalt gray, and I'm going to paint over the little gems. And it looks so pretty when it's finished. I thought about, leaving them unpainted, and then I thought that was just a little bit much. Okay, here's the final projects.